Hi, I'm Jane Velez-Mitchell with Jane Unchained, and I am here with Donnie Moss of TheirTurn.net and our fantastic guest, Josh Tetrick, founder and CEO of Hampton Creek Foods, maker of the amazing Just Mayo, which I use in my kitchen every day, this fantastic cholesterol-free, plant-based product. And we are talking breaking news now. A shocking scandal erupted. Lawyers got a hold of documents that show the U.S. government, our government, conspired to put your company, Josh Tetrick, out of business. They were not successful, but tell us some of the shocking details.
There are quite a few of them. So right now, Jane, you're in our lab. We got 70-plus people here busting their butt to try to make better food, and we found out that the USDA's American Egg Board was engaged in a number of illegal activities. Let's start with the first and probably the oddest. They called our company a crisis and a major threat, and they brought on a crisis PR firm, Edelman, to do a number of things, including paying bloggers tens of thousands of dollars to write discrediting things about our work, and also not disclosing, by the way, that they were paid by the American Egg Board. They paid a guy to call Whole Foods to attempt to block the initial distribution of Just Mayo. You know, we launched that product well over a year and a half ago, and they paid a guy to call the executive leadership at Whole Foods to attempt to stop them from selling. Thankfully, our good friend at Whole Foods were clearly not moved by it. Third, they attempted to join the American Association for Sauces and Dressings to actually influence policy on whether or not chicken eggs should be used in some of these products. And overall, you know, it's a pattern of this entity going way outside their mandate, violating numerous laws, and I think it really speaks to, you know, what an entrenched industry does when it faces just a little bit of competition.
Donnie Moss, your question.
Well, yeah, Josh, I mean, what was your reaction when you saw the emails from executives with the American Egg Board and they were threatening to take a hit on you? I'm going to quote what they said. Can we pool our money and put a hit on him, meaning you? And an executive vice president of the American Egg Board that offered, quote, to contact some of my old buddies in Brooklyn to pay Mr. Tetrick a visit. What's your reaction to that?
I thought we must be doing something right. I thought we must be doing something right. I mean, you know, Jane, it's funny, the first time that you interviewed me, I think we might have had about 17 people in the company. And, you know, just in a quick period of time, we've managed to form these partnerships with Walmart, with Compass Group, with Target, with so many other major players out there, with General Mills, and we've grown fast. And we didn't start this thing to play small, so if a few people weren't upset by us, I think we're probably doing something wrong. So I wasn't too sad seeing it.
Josh,
well, let's say this. I gotta ask a follow-up question. All the news reports have described this as jokingly suggested. I have to tell you, I've written 2 books on murders. I've covered crime for 37 years, and I've heard people discuss actual plots that casually on texts and emails. Why this assumption that this was just a ha-ha joke, and are you going to take any legal action against these alleged email threats to put a hit on you, or any other allegedly illegal activities by the American Egg Board, which is supervised by the USDA?
Yeah, they sure are, Jane, and we're going to do a number of things. You know, we started this company to try to make a difference in food. This is a platform to have an impact. And here's what we're going to do after seeing this. Number one, we're calling for a congressional investigation over the USDA. We're calling for it. We're talking with members on both sides of the aisle about these illegal actions. So we hope Congress takes up this investigation, because it's really government run amok. It's not fulfilling what the needs of the people are. The USDA has a role to provide good food to support farmers, not to block market access for a competitor that's trying to do something a little bit good. Number two, we're asking that Secretary Vilsack actually conduct his own investigation over these acts. I don't think they align with the kind of USDA that he believes in, that he really wants to lead. And we're actually considering, Jane, filing a lawsuit against the American Egg Board and their actions too. So we're aiming to be very aggressive about this, and it's less about how it impacts Hampton Creek, and it's more about there is serious reform that needs to be done here. We don't want other companies to go through it, and more importantly, we want the USDA to be about something that's a little bit more important than trying to harm a competitor that's doing something good. They need to be about promoting good food and supporting farmers, not these illegal acts that have nothing to do with their mandate.
Sorry, Donnie, go ahead.
Well, a follow-up question about, the Unilever. When we first spoke to you, Josh, Unilever had filed a lawsuit against you because you were using the word Mayo, and Mayo, by definition, contains eggs. And that lawsuit, they dropped the lawsuit. It backfired. It was a publicity disaster for them and a real coup for Hampton Creek because you got all the publicity you would have otherwise never gotten. So are you surprised? Here we are again, and the mistakes are being made again, shining a spotlight on you, Hampton Creek, and just Mayo. Are you surprised that they've done this again?
It is somewhat unbelievable, honestly. I mean, Unilever was mentioned in these FOIA documents too. The Unilever Council, during the lawsuit, actually called the American Egg Board and asked for help in dealing with Hampton Creek. Yeah, I mean, in a very short time period, about this time last year, Unilever had just filed the lawsuit, and then 34 days later, they dropped it. Now we have an entity of the U.S. government, kind of bungling around and doing sort of the same thing. And it is surprising, but I take it as a sort of badge of honor that we're shaking the system up a little bit. And we have lots of new stuff coming out pretty soon, right? Jane, I'm anxious for you to taste Just Scramble. This is a plant you throw it in a pan and actually scramble. It scrambles like a chicken egg. So we might be here again, pretty soon talking about some of these things because, we don't have fun playing small. We have a lot more fun trying to have an impact, and some of the stuff sort of comes with it.
Well, has this backfired? I know that the FDA just in August told you basically you can't use the phrase Mayo, and the backstory now has been revealed that it was the American Egg Board and the USDA who were, pun intended, egging the FDA on. First of all, I think it destroys the FDA's credibility, makes them look like a hack and a shill. But that's my phrase, not you. But do you think all this is backfired? When Unilever sued you, you ended up getting something like more than $100 million in venture capital. Have the guys who back you, the big names, the Bill Gates of the world, heard about this hijinks, these shenanigans, these dirty tricks? And is it helping you the way the Unilever lawsuit helped you get more capital?
Yeah, what's been awesome about it is we just took an additional $15 million actually from a major food conglomerate in Japan called Mitsui in the last 7 to 10 days. We couldn't be more well capitalized. It's deep in our partnerships, and today we have partnerships, Jane, not just with Whole Foods. You can go to your local Dollar Tree and buy our products. And that's an important thing to keep in mind, right? We're not just about serving people who make over 6 figures. We're trying to reach everyone. So it's deep in our partnerships. I think it's shown a lot of our customers what we stand for. Our investors aren't scared off by it. It validates why they invested in us in the first place. And as it pertains to the FDA, because it's somewhat of a separate issue than the USDA thing, the next step with them, they sent us a letter. They didn't say we need to take the products off the shelf, just Mayo off the shelf. But we're going to be meeting with them sometime in the next month or so, sitting down. And my hope is we can find some common ground on this. I think they believe in innovation, they believe in sustainability. So it's my hope that we find some positive ground on it, and at the same time, we're going to keep on marching on and not just sit on our hands.
But I think the great thing about this is that it's exposed what's really happening with our tax dollars, that the U.S. government, particularly the USDA, and the American Egg Board and these lobbying groups are not concerned with health. They're not concerned with the fact that you have a product that's low in zero cholesterol because it's plant-based, that they're attacking it because they just want to preserve this industry. It's all about making a buck and follow the money, and that's not what our government's supposed to be about. Donnie, your thoughts?
No.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's staggering when you think about it. I mean, we're living through an era of climate change, and here you have a product that is eco-friendly, really green, and to have the government working against you and that product is sort of staggering.
It is. I mean, yeah, it is, guys. I mean, when you think about, you think about the food system, the question we always ask is, what would it look like if we just started over? If you could start over, if you could remove the habits and the preconceptions and the BS that loads up our mind about food, and you just say, what do we want? Well, we would want a food system that's less degrading to the environment, that's less degrading to the planet, that treats animals a little bit better, that is better for all these things that we want, that is more supportive of farmers. And let's have a government, let's have boards of the government, let's have companies do more of that instead of doing the opposite. And that's part of the reason why we're going to be fighting so hard, because we feel like there's been some serious violations of really important mandates that the government has.
Well, Josh, you are our hero. I love your product. Again, I use it all the time. I didn't have to go out and buy a sample because just Mayo is incredible. It tastes great.
Right.
They have many people who are not in any way, shape, or form involved in healthy eating who rave about this product.
Nice.
Please keep us posted.
Put
your feet to the fire. This is an outrage. Speaking just as an American citizen, when I saw these emails about putting out a hit on you, okay, because you're creating a good product, and it's not some thug, okay, it's the U.S. government. Oh my God, my jaw dropped, and I said, if you put this in a movie, they wouldn't believe it, but it's actually true. So thank you so much. As we wrap up, I just want to say thank you, as always, to Donnie Moss of theirturn.net, Josh Tetrick, who's on the West Coast in his fabulous kitchen lab, and I'm Velez-Mitchell for Jane Unchained.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.